Welcome to Business Spotlight, a signature series from the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals. This is the show where we shine a light on the people, the stories, and the passion behind the brands. Each episode, we sit down with one of our incredible members to explore the journey, the culture, and the character that fuels their business. It's not just about what they do, it's about why they do it, how they got started, and what keeps them going. From bold startups to beloved staples, we're celebrating the entrepreneurs who are shaping the wedding and event industry, our community, one story at a time. So, whether you're here for inspiration, connection, or just good conversation, you're in the right place. This is Business Spotlight, where business gets personal. Welcome back to Business Spotlight, the segment where we shine a well-deserved light on the incredible members of our community who are building powerful brands and creating unforgettable experiences. And today, we are headed to Baltimore, Maryland to highlight a dynamic visionary who knows how to turn moments into magic. Get ready to meet Love Clark, the creative force behind Love Clark Events, a brand synonymous with elegance, intention, and elevated event design. From intimate celebrations to unforgettable luxury experiences, Love has mastered the art of bringing her clients' vision to life with style, grace, and impeccable attention to detail. Her passion for creating meaningful moments and her commitment to excellence have made her a standout in the events industry. And today, she's sharing her journey, her inspiration, and what it really takes to build a brand rooted in purpose. So sit back, lean in, and get inspired. This is Business Spotlight with Love Clark of Love Clark Events. And welcome to Business Spotlight. This is where we shine the light on the members of the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals, just so that you can get to know the people behind the brand, who they are, what they're about, get a little personal, get a little business side. It's just a relaxed conversation, and we're going to get started. So today we have Miss Love Clark of Love Clark Events. Hi, Love. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am wonderful as well. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. I was about to get in this whole little spiel to tell people who you are, but I'm going to allow you to do that. So tell people, who is Love Clark?
Yeah, so I am Love. I'm based in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm event professional, so I am a wedding planner, not the girl who just kind of runs around with a clipboard, but I am very passionate about what it is that I do. So I am the owner of Love Clark Events.
Okay, awesome. And what inspired you to get into the industry and become a planner?
Tara, that's a good question. I I'm gonna say that my journey wasn't like everyone else's, right? When I started, I was working in hospice care, so I started in hospice care, and at the time I was also pregnant. I had also lost my mother. So all of these transitionings, I knew that I wanted to kind of move from where I currently was into more of a space that celebrated life versus kind of the end of life, because that was my day to day. So that's all that I did. I had a girlfriend who reached out to me. She was planning an event, and I jumped right in. After that event, I don't know, like something clicked. It was there. I felt something there. And I went home. I got on a whole bunch of like podcasts and I studied, and it kind of took over and booked my first wedding, and well, here I am. So,
Awesome, awesome.
right.
Business.
Oh, say it again. I'm sorry.
How long have you been in business?
So I branded in 2017. So that's
Okay.
what, like 8 years,
Almost,
9 years.
yeah, you're coming up almost on 10 years. Yeah, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
And the name of the company, which I don't think you could have chosen anything else, but why did you decide to name the company after you?
Well, my name is Love. Why not, right? But When I branded, I didn't want like a traditional name. So I didn't want like a name that I kind of just made up. I wanted to be like realistically myself. And I was always a person that loved weddings. I know it sounds so cliche, but I did. Most of my friends, they'll tell you still to this day that I was always the person that wanted everyone to get married. So, with that being said, I didn't feel like any other way was to brand it around my actual name, like my birth name, the one that, God gave me, well, my mom gave me, but the same substance. But then in addition to that, I also wanted my clients to know like what they were going to feel when they booked with us. It's
Mhm.
all passion, it's all love, it's very intentional. And that's pretty much what we give every single wedding and event that we produce.
Awesome. And speaking of your name, this wasn't one of the questions. Why did your mom decide the name you love?
Ah. And so my sister's name is Joy. My sister my sister is older than me, and my mom, it's a really crazy story. My father's name is Russell, so my father wanted to name me Russella, which is like half of Marsha and Russell. And my mom was like, no, she's gonna be Love, and if she had another baby, it would be Hope. So she was going with this format of, all these feelings, and that's how Love came along.
Did she get her hope?
She never got her Hope. I was the last one.
You're the last one. All right, all
Exactly.
right. Well, I love that. I love that. Mom was on it in her thought process. You know, you've been in this business for quite some time. I've been in this business for quite some time. There are so many things that go on about things that should or shouldn't be done, and just the whole thought process of our clients, right? What are some of the biggest misconceptions about a wedding planner?
Mm. A lot of people look at what was that movie with J Lo, like
A
the
wedding planner.
the wedding planner. So they look at this movie and they see all this glamorous. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
fun, it's interesting. It's like, oh my God, your job has to be like quite amazing and it's like super laid back, but no one really sees like the behind the scenes, the coordination, the emotional intelligence, the things going wrong that really happens on a wedding day. And those really do take a certain amount of a skill. Um, Everything, it just isn't always glitter and gold. There's always challenges, but I think with a good planner, that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. We're the miracle workers. I think so. Planners are. Um,
I'm a counselor sometimes. A good
Counselor.
counselor.
We are everything wrapped up into one. We are the ultimate staples button. We get the job done.
Yeah.
Indeed. Um, what is the day in the life of you as an event planner?
The day in the life, well, if you think about a normal wedding, right? So I guess this is for people who don't understand the industry, but I actually had this conversation with someone not too long ago. But if you think about the industry, because they say that there's wedding season, right? The day in the life of a normal planner is we're still planning, so it's 12 months. Sometimes it's longer than that. Sometimes it's shorter than that, but it's a lot more going on. But there's lots of emails, there's lots of communication, there's lots of planning, there's a lot of detail in between, and then coordinating a lot of vendors. And then there's a lot of emotional touches with your clients. I'm very personal. I love to personally speak to my clients and get to know them, who they are, and then kind of being very detailed. So I actually am the person that really loves contracts. I know everyone says contracts is what I do. So all of these things kind of mapped out in a day in a life. But a normal day in a life for me is, of course, I'm checking emails, I'm planning another wedding, and I always got some good coffee right beside me
Okay.
because it's a long day.
Okay. Okay. Well, since you say coffee, let's kind of bounce over and get some fun personal things going here. So, one of my questions is going to be coffee or iced tea. So, you're coffee.
I'm black coffee, no
Black coffee, is
sugar.
there certain just black coffee, no particular flavors or anything?
I'm starting to like vanilla a little bit, but I'm just black coffee, like Folgers, dark roast. If I'm out and about, it's certainly a good coffee shop. I can't say that I'm a
Mhm.
Starbucks girl, unfortunately, but a good, like authentic coffee shop. I love some good
Mhm.
coffee.
Okay. Sweet, savory, or salty?
Mm, savory with a little bit
Okay.
of sweet on the side.
Okay. Okay. Some people have said all three. I gotta have. What is your favorite color?
Green.
Okay. All
Green.
right.
I'm starting to like a little bit of pink here lately. I don't know what's going on. And a little bit of like yellow, pastel yellow, but always green, emerald green.
Okay. All right. Morning person or night owl?
I'm a night owl.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How late can you stay up?
Ah, I can be working on projects until 2 o'clock, especially if I'm really focused.
Uh-huh.
But I'm definitely a night owl. I normally don't take calls before 9 a.m. because I have like my time frame of my peace and quiet, might check my emails and then productivity. So, but I'm definitely up late.
Dream celebrity client you'd like to plan an event for?
Mm. This is a good one because I'm not sure if I have
Okay.
one. But I will say this. I personally love, so back when, and I think most of like your viewers would know who Rihanna is back when she's actually saying, I love Rihanna's edginess. So I
Mm-hmm.
would love to kind of understand like what an event would look like for her.
Okay.
Um, if we had a whole bunch of time, of course, Oprah, Tyler Perry.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I love big brands. So I think
Okay.
my dream client would be like a really large, big brand. But I don't know if I have a dream celebrity client. I see everybody the same. As long as
Okay.
they're good people, I want to plan your event.
Okay.
Bring it in.
Said Oprah. Lately, you know, before it used to be Oprah, 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 Oprah. Now everybody's like Michelle, 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 Michelle Obama.
Yeah, yeah. Bring me Michelle too. Hey
Oh,
Martha, a lot of people don't like Martha Stewart anymore. I don't know what's going on, but I think that she's still absolutely wonderful. So
mhm. I don't know. That would be kind of hard because she's like the queen of
she is the planner.
hospitality.
She is.
Yeah, so that would be ooh, that I
But
would be
she
on
would
pins and needles.
challenge. Yeah, but I love that.
Okay, okay. Good old Martha. One word to describe your journey in this industry. Or
Becoming.
two. Two words. Oh.
I would say becoming,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Okay. All right. I will say that one of the things about being in this industry, just being an entrepreneur, period, is that it's all about the relationships that you build. How do you go about building relationships with people in the industry?
I'm not good with small talk. I know that's not probably the best thing, but I'm not good with small talk. So I really love to get to know people individually. I
Mhm.
like when even if I'm at a networking event, and Tara, I actually have to thank you because, your platform actually allowed me to start getting out and networking a little bit more. But even when I'm at like certain events, I like to really get to know people. So I'm very intentional about having conversations outside of what we consider a brand or your business or what events are exciting to you and kind of like the normal small talk. Like I really want to know who you are. And
Mhm.
I think in that you find people who you're interested in, people who you find out new things about. And I think it's more personal, it's more humanized, and it's not as networky-ish.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
that's how I keep my network because sometimes you can text your vendor and say, "Hey, you have this date available really quick," and it's not as everything doesn't have to be so black and white, I guess.
Hmm. You're like me. I'm not about the small talk either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I think that's planners overall for the most part, is that we're not about the small talk. And I always tell people I am a true introvert. And people are like,
Yeah.
how? Like, how are you? Like you're in
Yeah.
events. I'm like, on my quiet time, my downtime, I just want peace and quiet.
Yeah. I I I crave quietness. And then I'm kind of like out there and then I'm back in my quietness. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or I tell people, I said, I'm a situational extrovert. Like,
Hmm.
I know how to turn it on, but the biggest part is just turning it off.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Awesome. Um, what do you like to do in your downtime? Like, how does love relax? Or, yeah, what are fun things?
Yeah, in my downtime, I had to learn this. Is really just taking a step back. I remember when I started my business, I was just like gone whole all hours of the night, up all night, really just going, 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 going. And that landed to burnout. And then you
Hmm.
have to learn from that burnout. You have to fix it. So now it's like, it's a good glass of wine. It's catching up on a movie. It's spending time with my family because, that's overall my reasoning behind everything. So on my spare time, it's really kind of taking time to be present because at some point I wasn't as present. So being present and, to be honest, when I started my business, that was another thing that inspired me to start a brand. I always knew that I was going to start something, but being present, at that time, I had boys who were in high school. They're both out of high school now, but, being there at the football games and being intentional. So it's definitely family time, spending
Okay.
quality time.
Okay. What's you say you like to watch a good movie? What's one of your favorite movies, or what is it that you're watching now?
Oh, now, what is that new show? I actually just finished it. I think it's like His and Hers, or
Girl. Oh,
oh god.
all the way to the end. I'm just like, even how it ended, I was like, oh my gosh.
It was so good, so good.
Hmm. So are you rom-com or high impact movies? What do you like?
So my favorite movie still to this day of all time is Love and Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't watch it a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just like one of those movies that kind of set on me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm right there in between. So I can watch. I just got into series. I was never big on series because it took too long. I didn't feel like I had the time to watch it. But I just got into like little series. When it comes to movies, I think I'm like right in between. So I can watch a good action movie. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
right there in between.
All right, awesome. As a part of this platform, the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals, we love to celebrate Black culture. When you think about Black culture, what comes to mind to you?
Us. All right. Everything about Black culture, I think, is absolutely amazing. The way we show up, the way we put on events, the dances,
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's a passion, it's resilience.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. I love everything about it. I remember trying to throw out an idea a long time ago, like, why don't you have like a Martian band or something come through? I think it's so much of a storytelling. And I think what I even found within like some of the events that we produce, it's so much intention. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
intentionality behind it. But I love everything
Mm-hmm.
about it.
I tell people, I said, our culture, we are so extra from the food that we eat. Like when it's time to eat, just making a little small plate, even if it's two people sitting down to eat, we're going to go overboard on the food. We go overboard on the celebrations. We go overboard on how we dress. We are people that love life and we take life by the horns and we just We just love it. We just love it.
We're planning an event just because.
Just because it's snowing outside. Let's have an event. The
Everyone come
sky is
over.
blue. Let's have an event. Come on over. We are so extra, but it's good extra.
It is
Hmm.
so good. So good.
Yes, love it, love it. What would be your advice to someone that's trying to get into this industry?
Take your time. I would say take your time, do your research, find your people early, right?
Mm,
Find your people early because one thing about, doing the research and making the mistakes, everyone has to go through their own challenges. So you have to learn, you have to actually learn from your mistakes and do better. But find your people because even as you're learning and you're growing and you're not quite there, those are the people that you kind of fall back on when you really need some additional support, some additional guidance. But take the time and learn your craft. Take the time to educate yourself and then start gradually putting yourself out there.
awesome. I love that. Love that. And if you weren't in this industry, what would you be doing today?
Mm, this is a really good question. I always looked at myself as someone who would be building something, right? So I can't really, and I'll put this in perspective of where I started. So with me starting in healthcare, I feel like I started in a place of care, compassion. I started in hospice where there was a different place where you had to be compassionate, and seeing all these different resources and things come to you. And I was in hospice for a lot of years. So I feel like whatever path that I go in or take or would have shift to, it would have always came back to being there for other people in whatever way that was. So even in planning, of course, planning is very logistical, very detail oriented, but I'm still very much there with my clients. So it's still a love there. So I don't know
Okay.
if it would be anything different.
Okay. All right. All right. Have you had any favorite events that you've done?
I had a lot of favorite events. But I don't know how to break that down into like separation,
Mm,
right? We did quite a few corporate events that I'm still very much loving. But you know what I really love? I love when my clients give me the ability to think outside the box a little bit and they trust me. And so we did
mm,
have a event in DC. So it was an event in DC, and both my couples were football fans. So that was something that they were into, but they're also in the industry of football. So taking those little smaller details and embedding it into like and I'm looking this way because I actually have their little helmets on my desk, but embedding that into their details. I love something that's really intentional. So that I would have to say that was one of my favorites. And then of course, destination. They always go so beautifully well. You just have the best scenery and destination.
okay. You do a lot of destination weddings.
I do a few. I do a good
Mhm.
a good few.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Um, what's your go-to hype song when you're preparing for an event or just getting up for the morning? Do you have like that one song, like, yes, this is going to get me moving for the day?
Um, so I My hype song, so before an event, because I feel like I have hype songs for different moments, right? But before an event, my hype songs are actually gospel music. So I have to be uplifted. I need to take it all in and no half full cups. I need to be full. So it's definitely a good gospel song. I grew up with my mother blasting gospel music like it was rap music out the window. So, but in addition to that, I don't know. Like I love pop music. I love
Mhm.
country music. Um, I love a good Cardi B here and there. So
Mhm.
I don't know if I really have like the hype song, but I do love Never Would Have Made It. Never would have
Okay.
made it.
Mhm.
Don't get my vocals because I can't sing. But I love some good gospel music before an event. I have to have it.
So awesome. Um, what's next for Love Clark events?
Expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, so good expansion, new systems we've built, new planning experiences. I feel like what I'm planning now is really based off of what I want to leave or I want my children to see and frequency of who I am, and through a path that which they can realistically say where they want to go further, but certainly expansion.
Okay. And any final words for the audience?
Yeah. So my thing is don't let where you start stop you from where you're going.
Mm.
Um, I feel like I said, I came from a different place to start, but I'm still building something that I absolutely love. Take your time, find your people, keep on going, and have a good time at it. Nothing is always so serious. Love people. Um, and I think that's probably where I'll land it.
Okay, okay. Miss Love, where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, so you can find me on all social media platforms at Love Clark Events. And then, of course, my website at loveclarkevents.com.
Awesome. Well, it has definitely been a pleasure having you today to speak with the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Ms. Love Clark of Love Clark Events. And this has been another episode of Business Spotlight with the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals.